Hi and welcome to my channel reviewing LEGO classic space sets from the time area 1978 to 1987. My name is Jan-Erik. I live and work in Norway. My profession for over 20 years has been to develop rocket engines for military and space applications, so you really can call me a rocket scientist. That said, I have also lived long enough to have experienced the introduction of LEGO space sets back in 1978. Back then, as a 7-year-old boy, I got my first LEGO space set, the 885 Space Scooter, a set that I will review today. I got the Space Scooter as a gift from my parents back in 1979. That was the year that this set also was released. At the time, I was also enjoying LEGO a lot and also having a key interest in rockets and space exploration. So you can really say that the introduction of LEGO space was a good match for me indeed. When I will review these sets, I will I will review it on the basis of its design, first of all. I will also draw from what I remember as a young boy having these kits and what I liked and disliked about them. So I will highlight these things. Also, I will have a review on it from a rocket scientist perspective, with my quite some long time experience developing rocket motors and having an interest in not only rocket motors but also spacecraft and airplane design. So I have some knowledge that I can contribute into these sets to see what they are giving us, what they may be missing. So I will give it a verdict, so you can say in the final part about how realistic is the design. Secondly, I will also review the playability, how good is the model to be handled for a kid. Then last, I will also give it a score on the nostalgic force, you can call it. This is something personal to me. For example, this set we have in front of us, I have some warm heart for, because it was my first set and I remember it very well. I played a lot with it. So there's a nostalgic effect to perspective to this also that I want to add in. So I will roll a dice, so to speak, for each categories from 1 to 6, where 6 is the highest number, the best score. And then I will in the end sum it up to get a total score for that kit. That will be my personal view on this. Of course, you have your right to have other opinions, so if you have, please share them with me. That would be just fun. The review. It was first released in 1979. The number of bricks in the set is just 15, so it's not a complex kit. And it included also a minifigure, as you see it here, a red astronaut. The weight of the kit is 34 grams. And the dimension approximately, from talking about the length here, we have 9.5 centimeters. The width is 5.7 and the height is 3.6 centimeter. Relatively small craft, but that's how it is. It's a one-man spacecraft, you could say. So have a look on the design of this. First of all, when looking at it, you see that it's kind of have this aircraft appearance to it. It has this delta-shaped wing profile which to me is an indicator that this should be able to fly in some sort of atmosphere, not necessarily Earth atmosphere. I'll come back to that, why, but maybe on Mars, but still on Mars it's very thin, low density there, so yeah, I don't know. Because in the vacuum of space, wings would have no meaning at all or function. What I would say that is kind of missing on this design as a spacecraft is the reaction control system. So what is a reaction control system? Well, that is a small set of thrusters that can provide thrust in different directions, so you can do maneuvers. Maneuvers can be roll, it can be pitching, it can be yawing, it can be translating movements like this. Depends. This has no indication of that. The only indication of a rocket engine we have is at the rear part you have these two blue cylindrical pieces which are transparent, really nice color. I always like this. They have a good color contrast also to the gray color that you have on this craft. You have also two navigation lights here, red transparent bricks, really nice. And you have an aerial here or antenna for communication. What I didn't like as a young boy was the engine arrangement, because this piece here, which is a fence piece, is something that I was had in different colors from before, and you could see through it, and you had just these simple cylinders attached to it being an engine, and you see there's nothing here. There's absolutely no volume here, so to me it was a little too simple to be an representative for an engine layout. But okay, I understand it's a small kit with few parts, so to be cheap, and to me today this doesn't matter at all. What maybe disappointed me most as a young guy was that the astronaut was just sitting on the top of the wing here. So absolutely no indication of a seating there, and to me that was kind of strange. And you have, yeah, and if this were going to fly through some atmosphere, you would have drag acting up on this poor guy, and he would easily fly off. And so yeah, not the best design in thinking on this as a realistic case. And the other thing that disappointed me was the steering wheel that they had on a spacecraft, and that was a common thing among all the spacecrafts in classic space. But today, and for some time after, I got used to seeing that, so okay, it's natural for me to see it, it's there, but I remember that just to mention that that disappointed me a little. Being interested in airplanes and spacecraft, I knew they didn't have a steering wheel in front there, but okay. That said, a really nice piece is this sloped piece in front here with the classic space logo in gold, plated moon or planet here. And in front you also have two spikes being kind of antenna. Looking below we see, not much to see, but we have these two plates here which act as a landing support for the craft, which is good that you get some clearance between the ground and the wing. That looks better if it would have been without this. And I have also the instructions. It's here, and yeah, it's not much to see. It's just in total 6 steps, 6 steps, or 7 if you add in the assembly of the minifigure. And I must say, what amazed me a little is Lego's instruction and how good they always has been looking. Just look at this. This is over 40 years old, and really nice graphics and design on these instructions. And you always got some teasers here of other things that you could hope to get. Many didn't get all these kits because they were expensive. Neither did I get all of this, but I got the LL928 Galaxy Explorer set, and the other the 924 I got. Yeah, so I got several of these kits, but far from all of them, of course. Lego was expensive and still are. So, what is the verdict on this kit? The design as a toy, I will give it a roll dice of 5. Why not a full score? Well, if they have included some gray as seating for the astronaut, to my opinion, should have been included, then it would be should have been a top score. Playability, I also give it a 5, minus for that loose antenna, which very easily come off. Not a big thing. Nostalgic force, I give it 6. This was my first set, and I still love it. So all in all, a total score of 16 of 18, so quite a good score. If I view this from a rocket engineer design perspective, and look at the realism of this design, if this was to be a model for something that we would build, I would say give it a 1. The reason for that is there is hardly any volume for the propulsion system and for holding fuel. This would have very small short range as a craft. It would be not a interplanetary vehicle, of course. It would be that something that is scouting across the planet surface or moon surface, and only that. The astronaut is also sitting in a very exposed position with absolutely minimum of protection from aerodynamic drag. Since you have this kind of wing-shaped design on this, it wouldn't make sense. If you were to be sitting like this, you have to fly quite slow, and or it could be some faster in some lower density atmosphere. There is no evidence of lateral control on this craft, thinking on this as a vehicle that could fly in some light atmosphere. Of course, that can be provided if you had some spoilers acting here, so you don't need tail sections like a flying wing craft. So that is feasible. But as a craft for real usage, it would not be a very good design. But just for the fun of it, don't take this too serious. Okay, So that's it. Total score of 16 of 18.